gone through when we come to church on Sabbath, do we? We need every arm of Sabbath school. And if we would do the Sabbath school lesson during the week, during the week, do you think the church would be filled? Do you think so? Yeah. I'm not perfect. I'm struggling to be like Jesus. We need to learn to be a living Bible study. Mm-hmm. You don't always have to carry your Bible with you. A living Bible study. An object lesson illustrating right principles. And lifting up Christ. This is all of this. My girlfriend, getting ready for Sabbath school. Getting ready for Sabbath school, Pastor. Car a mess. Didn't know if she could even get to church. She was really concerned. Single woman. Sabbath morning, getting dressed, sweet Jesus said to her, she was concerned about a car. How am I going to get a car? I don't work in a big job. The Lord said to her, tell your Sabbath school class. She said, tell my Sabbath school class? She said she's getting dressed, came to her again. Tell your Sabbath school class. So now she's in Sabbath school. And they do the little icebreakers, how you been this week? You're doing good. And this is a very important part of Sabbath school. Because some have not had a voice from the church all week. You don't know how they're doing. No one has called. So now she's sitting in the Sabbath school class. And she gets that nudge again. They're just talking. She timidly raises her hand. She says, I have something. Yes. What is it? My car. And she commenced to tell them about her car. It's just broken. It's no good. Before she left Sabbath school, she had a car. So what did that fall under? What did that fall under? Huh? And they reached out to her, didn't they? Didn't they? Picked up that car on Monday or Tuesday. Sabbath school is an important department in the church. Not just to study, but it's it's a relational approach where we meet the needs of the people. That's what it should be. Meeting the needs of the people. So I can't take away world mission. I'm supposed to help the worldwide church. I can't take away Bible study because that shows me how I should walk and how I should deal with people. And these lessons that we have, and this is something that we're going to experience tomorrow, getting into the study of our lesson and applying it personally. How can, what'd you say? That's right. How can this make me? What can I do? And then I'm going to reach out. I reached out to my neighbors. My neighbors were Catholic, and the husband was a Baptist. And I don't know what their cleaning lady was. I don't even know if she had a religion. Fellowship. I used to go to their house. Didn't talk the Bible. Didn't talk the Bible at all. I used to go to their house, take them little flowers, just go see how they were doing. Reaching out to them. They sat around drinking their little stuff. I sat around drinking my little water. Just being friendly. Just being friendly. Every now and then they would say something. One day they were arguing, the Catholic lady, who is now deceased but died in Jesus Christ, she was arguing with her cousin-in-law, because really the lady was her cousin, or her niece, who knows, and he was a drinking Baptist. And I'm sitting there, you know how you watch a tennis game like this? I mean, they were back and forth. You know what they were arguing? The Sabbath. I didn't even know those folk knew anything about the Sabbath. And I heard my Catholic friend say to my Baptist friend, if I ever leave the Catholic Church, I'm going to go to Carol's church. That thing shocked me. So I'm like this here. You don't know, but it was just through fellowship and nurture, outreach. And one day they asked me a question. I said, you want to study the Bible? Because she called me one day. She said, Carol, where is Paul, the book of Paul? I said, I don't think it's been written. I said, let me come in here. What you looking for? And from that moment, we read the Bible together. And they were baptized into Jesus Christ and became Seventh-day Adventists. That's what this thing is about, folk. They followed me to church. That's all they did. They followed me to church. What I studied in Sabbath school, I practiced. What you study in Sabbath school, you practice. Is that it? Okay, you all can sit down. And make sure I get my signs back. What if the Sabbath school was structured to address the baseline evangelism and the nurture agenda of the congregation? Pastor, what would your congregation be like if the Sabbath school addressed the baseline evangelism structure of the church? What do you think, Pastor? Come up here and stay with me a minute, Pastor. What if you had that and it was meeting the needs of the people? What would your church be like?
It would be full.
It would be full. You were meeting the needs, if the Sabbath school was meeting the needs of the people. I'm not just talking members and reclaiming other members. I'm talking folk around the area. What do you think?
Yeah, it would be great. I think sometimes we focus only on Bible study and we think that's going to bring us closer to Jesus, but actually we end up being spiritually fat. You don't grow unless you exercise.
You heard the word. You don't grow unless you exercise. You become atrophied, right? Yes. What if thank you, Pastor, what if we had this relational approach to people to meet their needs? Don't you think I would follow you to church? There was something different. I would come see what is going on. What would it be? And there are a few words that I'm going to introduce to you. We want to look at the Sabbath school class. We want to look at it as a family. You're a family. You're concerned about each other. It should be so that you call each other. I missed you. I missed you. I have my membership is in one church. Been there ever since I've been to General Conference. But because of these people that became Seventh-day Adventists, I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, where shall I take them? I'm sorry to say, you can't take them to every church. I said, Lord, where shall I take them? Where do you want me to take them? And so I was instructed to take them to one of the smaller churches not far from where we live. And then I sat with them for 1 year to establish them in the truth. That's an important thing, because everything isn't thus saith the Lord. And I would tell them, you Don't always take my word. Go to the Bible. I'm going to show you from the Bible. But always go back to what does Sister White call the Bible? The man of counsel, the true witness. So I sat with them. I'm talking about calling now. I sat with them for 1 year to establish them in the truth, to get them settled. Now, my membership is somewhere else. I do a great deal of traveling. I'm a member somewhere. Do you think someone has called me to check on me? No, hon. They don't know if I'm in the truth or out the truth. And I think about that. No one has called me to say, Carol, how you doing? No one from the church where I send God's tithe. Yeah, they know I'm out. They know where I work, but no one has. How do you think your member in your class feels? Meeting the relational, meeting the needs of the people. This is that relational approach. I would welcome a phone call. It would make me think you're interested in me. Yes. I ought to throw this microphone. I know what you're saying, but that's not the way it works, is it? Does it? Step outside. You know one thing, look where he's hiding. I never thought about that, but usually, you know, we're on the defensive. Or why didn't they call me? If there's so much in Jesus Christ, why haven't they gotten in touch with me? You know, that's the way we think. But I hadn't thought about that, really. I have friends in that church, hon. I've worked with some of those people. Don't you think I want a phone call? I'm working this thing. Come on, work with me.
Yeah, you do need a.
It would be nice.
It would be nice. But
you're not dealing in butts, but
you got 2 feet.
But you know one thing, really. Let's look at it. Okay, me. But everyone isn't strong like me. Okay. Everyone isn't strong like me. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, people from that church know you, and you're in a position of influence. They know that you're okay, doing all right. But the likelihood is that if it follows after the pattern of most churches, it's not that they're just not calling you because they know you're doing fine. They're not calling you because they're not calling anyone. And so that's what bothers you. Not that I didn't get a phone call, but no one's making phone calls. So.
You got that? Yeah, no one's making phone. That's very.
Yeah, maybe you come to the point where you ask question, who is ministering to me? I'm ministering to the whole North American division, but nobody's ministering to me.
Yes. That's true. Yeah. That personal touch is something, isn't it?
I think perhaps it might be a church thing, because I have a bunch of fellas that I chum with, and none of them are church members. And occasionally one of them would phone and say, "Hey, how you doing?" But
so you think it's a church thing?
Probably.
All right, you got to think this thing over now, because do we have Sabbath school teachers in here, Sister Joyce? We have Sabbath school class family in here? Let's think this thing through.
You know, as Christians, we were talking about nurturing each other. So even though they work with me, even though they used to see me in church, I think personally it's very important. I could be sick, I could be grieving. So to me, it's very important to connect. Sometimes there are people who do not wait on people to call them, but I think sometimes when I've been away for so many months, I think my church people should care about me. But I should not be discouraged, though.